Hi everyone, I'm Nick Bearman and I've got Tim Prestby with me here, who has published an article in the CaGIS Journal. Tim is a PhD candidate and NSF Graduate Research Fellow in Geography at Penn State, and his article is on trust in maps, what we know and what we need to know. So Tim, welcome, and please can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So the article is a review paper. And so in the article, I really wanted to look at, okay, what is the current state of science around trusted maps? And so trusted maps is increasingly becoming an issue in our field. And so with generative AI taking off and also the democratization of map making, people want to know, do people have this tendency to trust maps and what are the potential consequences of that? And so in the paper, I review the current body of knowledge on trusted maps. So there's been a decent amount of articles about it, but no one has really taken a step back and figured out, okay, what are all of these articles together mean? And so that was the purpose of the paper. And then also charting a step forward. So looking at what we know, and then based on that, okay, what are areas that we still need to work on as researchers?
Cool. So, and your subtitle, what we know and what we need to know, I really loved. And it's part of a larger collection of other articles looking at different topics. So in a nutshell, what do we know about trusted maps?
Yeah, so we know that people probably are affected by a lot of different things, including things like visualizing uncertainty, the cartographic design factors in maps. So if a map looks professional, if it looks attractive to someone, they might trust it more. We also, it's the jury is still out if maps are actually more trustworthy than other types of information. We need additional research on that. We also know that people really trust maps differentially based on where they come from. So someone might trust something from the New York Times more than they might trust it if it comes from some other smaller news organization. But a key facet with that is that people might trust these things differentially with where they come from based on their prior beliefs and their knowledge systems. And so there's a lot more in the paper, but those are some of the highlights of what we know about trust in maps.
Cool, great. Definitely check out the paper if you're interested in more. It's open access, so available for anyone. So I'll add the link below. We also mentioned a little bit about what we need to know. So could you say a little bit about that, please?
Yeah, absolutely. And so in this section, I highlight some methodological limitations about existing research and also identify some research questions that remain unanswered. And so one of the things that we still need to know is figuring out, okay, what actually is trust in maps? So trust is a really hard to pin down concept and has different definitions across disciplines and even within the discipline. And so we need to spend a considerable amount of time in figuring out, okay, what does trust in maps mean and how do we actually measure it properly? And is trust in maps different than trust in other information types or trust, interpersonal trust? In terms of research questions that we still need to answer, I alluded to it earlier. So we still need to know, are maps perceived as more trustworthy than, say, text or images or things like that? Also, which specific cartographic design elements besides looking professional and also potentially being beautiful affect trust? What are the specific design visual variables? So like this color, can we manipulate color to affect trust? Can we manipulate the legibility, things like that? And then also a big one is, what are the effects of visualizing uncertainty? And so uncertainty is inherent in any map. There's always some sort of uncertainty, but a lot of times cartographers, we choose not to show it because it might confuse map readers. And so how does showing uncertainty and the type of uncertainty visualization affect trust of maps? So those are some of the lingering things that we need to know.
Cool. No, there's quite a lot there. So thanks for going through that, Tim. And I particularly like the way you picked out in the article the 6 research challenges and 6 research opportunities that are coming up. So we've talked a bit about those already, but they're all in the article. So do definitely check it out. Just a quick shout out for a couple of CaGIS events that are coming up. So our annual map design competition is coming up. So deadline for that is January 31st next year, 2024. So submit your map designs there. And we've also got the CaGIS and UCGIS Symposium in Columbus, Ohio in June 2024. So there's details on both those on the website, so cartogis.org. So please check that out. And if you have got any feedback or comments, please do reach out on the video. Thanks.
Thanks, Nick.